You're listening to iCannabisRadio.com.
John Doe.
Sergeant Craig Simpson.
There are other tests which officers can perform. Tests such as one called lack of convergence, which looks to see whether or not a person is able to cross their eyes. Marijuana is a drug that prevents a person from being able to cross their eyes. Interestingly, it is the only drug category that doesn't allow a person to cross their eyes and also does not allow the person to exhibit a jerkiness of their eye. So it's a unique drug in that sense that is the only one to provide that influence.
Some people tell me that I need help. Some people get
accurate and informative. John Doe Radio.
Trackzillas. L-O-G-I-C-I-L-E. Lifty. Feel like Tom Sawyer, man.
I'm smoking so much, I'm feeling paranoia. I'm writing all day like I'm Tom Sawyer. You wanna cut some bomb, I got some bomb for you. And I ain't really tripping, got a bomb lawyer. I'm smoking so much, I'm feeling paranoia. I'm writing all day like I'm Tom Sawyer. You wanna cut some bomb, I got some bomb for you. And I ain't really tripping, got a bomb lawyer. OG Kush got me hella high. All red like you looking in the devil's eyes. We shipping packs off in the Enterprise. I'm high as Starship Enterprise. Different scales for that different work. With it caking up on top of them, I know it's burnt. They call me Mr. Popular on every verse. I'm making double rib, I can see it work. 2 Peters in a 2-seater with 2 heaters stashed in the 2-seat fronts. You get jabbed and then 2-pieced up. I got stripes like I'm 2 zebras. I got that scale on me, bruh, no Libra. I'm leaning and I'm sick, I'm a cold fever. I got that scale on me, bruh, no Libra. I'm leaning and I'm sick, I'm a cold fever. I'm smoking so much, I'm feeling paranoia. I'm writing all day like I'm Tom Sawyer. You wanna cut some bomb, I got some bomb for you. And I ain't really tripping, got a bomb lawyer. I'm smoking so much, I'm feeling paranoia. I'm writing all day like I'm Tom Sawyer. You wanna cut some bomb, I got some bomb for you. And I ain't really tripping, got a bomb lawyer. I'm smoking so much, I'm feeling paranoia. I'm writing all day like I'm Tom Sawyer. You wanna cut some bomb, I got some bomb for you. And I ain't really tripping, got a bomb lawyer. I'm smoking so much, I'm feeling paranoia. I'm writing all day like I'm Tom Sawyer. You wanna cut some bomb, I got some bomb for you. And I ain't really tripping, got a bomb lawyer. I'm smoking so much, I'm feeling paralyzed. Quadriplegic, sativa, energized. Cops all in my mirror and I'm terrified. All this dope on me got me petrified. Trapzillas, killers, party pop. I walk in with Zanny bars and Oxycontin. Bangers like I'm playing country. And I'm banging up that chain 5. I'm living la vida loca, I know Ricky Martin. 100 pack up in his car, you should really park it. I'm fiending for that cushion, I'm about to spark it. And plus I got that thing tucked up in the carpet. We got a lot of things, this is just a warning. I got about a quarter in my retro Jordans. Your baby mama coming over for some Molly snorting. Don't believe me, wanna watch it, cause I'll record it. I'm smoking so much, I'm feeling paranoia. I'm writing all day like I'm Tom Sawyer. You wanna cut some bomb, I got some bomb for you. And I ain't really tripping, got a bomb lawyer. I'm smoking so much, I'm feeling paranoia. I'm writing all day like I'm Tom Sawyer. You wanna cut some bomb, I got some bomb for you. And I ain't really tripping, got a bomb lawyer.
The human brain is made for thinking, not fumigating. It's hardly a tinker toy or experimenting. It's not fuming with drugs.
do we talk about marijuana? It's the single biggest drug that is a source of some confusion.
This is really about educating the public about the fact that marijuana is a less harmful drug.
Marijuana, that's to get high.
You can be as high as you want.
Prohibition of marijuana over the last 71 years has not actually prevented you from using marijuana.
You feel weak.
I'm sure to winning the war.
I do believe there have been some successes.
We will never arrest our way out of this problem.
Welcome to the John Doe Radio Show. I am your host, John Doe. Thank you very, very much for hanging out with us today on the John Doe Radio Show. It is a Monday live in the Mile High. We will have our good friends Alex, Americo probably. Is Americo going to be here?
Alex, Americo, and they said 3 of them, so I don't know who the third one will be.
And good times here on the JDR. Going to be talking about CO2 extract, cannabis, vertical integration action.
I'm pretty damn sure that the Tange oil is here today, too.
Are you kidding me?
No, I wouldn't F with him.
It is. Oh, you wouldn't F with me on that. Oh, shiz. The Tange oil will be sitting in house right now. I cannot wait. I actually have a. Where's the. Hold on here.
Holding.
I have another rig, too. Here.
I'd see their 4th.
So, actually, none of these. The only one that has a nail is the one that's stuck on here.
Oh, yeah.
I was showing everybody before the show.
That information I posted about how to get a nail, domeless nail off of a joint was from highly educated TI.com.
I'm not doubting that's how you do it. I know that's how you get it done. But here's the Hitman. We got the Phase 2, which is not so clean. I showed everybody the JDR Joel.
What is going on? What
JDR
kind of,
Joel Halen rig.
What kind of perks are those?
Circs.
They're both Circs?
Yes.
Why is the top one all stretched out? Just to make it fancy and cool?
It's a capped Circ.
Damn.
These are pretty fun to make.
Yeah,
dude.
Joel is one of my new favorite artists. Holy shit.
Yeah.
Dude,
so you never...
I've only seen like a lot of his clear stuff.
Quartz, this stuff was done by Irie Sun. Irie Sun did the color work on this one, and then that's a Circ, and then that's just a cap Circ.
Jeez, I'm gonna post a picture of that here
with a barber pole. It's pretty awesome. I learned how to make the cap Circs.
I want one like that, but with Colorado flag colors all over it.
Dude, that is pretty cool. Like that would be something Kind Creations would have a fantastic job at doing.
William Breeze just got a Colorado rig, and now I want one.
William Breeze did? From who?
I forget. It was a Colorado project auction, I believe.
Oh, I saw that one. Yes, I did. I saw that one. And then, have you seen this one?
Yeah, I don't know about that. What's going on there? I don't just know about that style. Like
it's a Circ, a little bubbler Circ. I made this one.
You did, and I just why female here, not a male?
Because it's a bubbler.
Okay, well, what if it was a male here? What would it be called?
It's a little bubbler.
This be a little bubbler if it had a male.
You can make it a rig, like if you had a.
So is this a bong because it has a female?
No, it's not a bong. It's a bubbler.
But it's a bubbler. I didn't even think about that. You made all these cuts too?
Oh hell yeah!
Damn, that looks like a whole lot of not of fun. Do you have like a laser sight?
That's what I did.
Do you have a laser sight to line them up?
Most of what I did was that, dude. Was make cuts.
Did you have a laser sight or a microscope?
Those are all that's hand done, dude.
With a saw? With what?
Dude, with the saw.
I hate like a hacksaw.
A bandsaw, dude.
Oh, that's not hand. That's a power tool.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Wow, those are pretty damn laser straight, Tim.
Or the ribbon saw, whatever the hell it's called.
Did you ever break a blade and cut
yourself? It's like the only time I've ever worked with tools.
Really?
That's why I have no clue what the hell I'm talking about when it comes to any tools.
Oh, I was wondering why you don't sound like you don't know what you're talking about.
No, but that's pretty good for
damn. Hey, anyone who can't see, Tim cuts like a robot.
You know who inspired me on that?
No, but tell me.
Joel Halen. I told Joel that when he was here last week. Joel grids a lot of his stuff, though. He's like, this circ on the bottom is
What does that mean?
Double gridded. Like, it has little, there's slits in the circ, and then there's a line of glass that's gridded into the circ.
What does that do? Make the water go in 2 directions instead of 1?
Yeah, more diffusion.
I gotcha.
And then there's a grid on the bottom of this one. And then on the one up top, there's a thick grid in the middle.
So it just pushes the water through the hole. It makes the whole size different.
Makes it more, gives you more bubbles.
I gotcha.
More diffusion.
Sick.
This is ridiculous. I've missed this piece so much. I made it over to Chad's last night. Went over to Chad's and picked this stuff up. It was, I had a good time.
You need to get back on getting Glass Artist for Glass Tuesdays.
We do.
Just because we need to start asking them, every glass artist,
actually,
what makes a bong, and a rig?
Dude, and I'm not a glass artist. Hey, there's Alex.
But we just need...
You know, have you heard of Julio Eduardo Lee?
Absolutely. Famous for getting arrested in Las Vegas.
Well, that's not why he's... I mean, that's part of why he may be infamous, but...
I know,
mean,
I'm being a dick.
Gosh. Alex at Evo Lab, Element 420 in the house here. And, dude, but he was talking about being on the show with me. We were messaging, so we're going to try and get him on the show. Are you on?
Tell me.
Yes, you are.
Yes. That's awesome. What else does he do? Like, who does he work for?
I don't know who he's with exactly. I don't know much about Julio except for some of his work and stuff. So, God, it's so.
Done. Sorry. Done.
All right.
How's it going today?
How you guys
What's
doing?
up?
Not too bad, and you guys?
Doing fantastic, man. It's a Monday though, so we're just trying to recover from the weekend.
He is. I'm fine.
Pretty mellow.
No, wired on coffee.
Americo in the house.
What's up?
How you
I
doing,
need coffee.
buddy?
I could sure use a shot of espresso
And a shot of espresso.
on this Monday.
How about a shot of CO2 extract to the lungs?
That'll do.
Is that going to work for you?
Yeah, then I'll shut the hell up.
No, that's not what we want, dude.
I know, see, so don't do it.
That's not what we want. Thank you guys for hanging out with us here and coming and hanging out. I'm glad we could get you back so quickly because we're supposed to have you on Friday, and then something came up. I know that you were busy making the fantastic Tange CO2, so we're just gonna assume that's what you were doing, hard at work doing that. No,
Absolutely.
I'm sure you were hard at work doing something. So,
I don't know if you call fishing hard at work.
yeah. See, I saw those pictures. I was trying not to say too much of anything. Here, go. You guys can share this one. For some reason, we only have 4.
Here, John. This is how you can hear everything.
All right, so let's introduce everybody here. We got Americo,
John Cruz.
John, and obviously Alex. Alex would be probably the leader of the bunch, right?
I don't know about that. But
All right, what'd you guys bring in for us today?
well, we decided to bring some tangerine, a little chocolate cake, which has been just kind of causing a little rage. Bruce Banner and some headband.
Which Bruce Banner?
Number 3.
Number 3.
Bruce Banner, number 3.
Very tasty.
Mm-hmm.
What's your? You can go ahead and talk. Yeah, make sure everybody can hear you.
Cool. Yeah, the Bruce Banner number 3, tangerine headband, and something we've made up called cake, and it's more of a coincidence than anything because it smells just like cake.
Have you tried the tangerine though?
Yeah, it's very, 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 very strong, boy.
Oh yeah! Holy shiz!
Isn't that crazy?
Holy cow, dude!
Let's see.
This smells like chocolate cake, dude. I'm not crapping you.
I'm not asking you to.
What'd you do? Smell your armpit and then smell that? Just in case?
No,
Clear his palate.
I cleared my palate. Nah, yeah, I got clean, very floral smelling clothes, and so yeah, I mean, I was clearing the palate. You know what's awesome is every dispensary should have right there a jar of coffee beans. That way, when somebody's trying to sample the greens, you know, they open up a jar, smell it, and then they can go over to the coffee beans, clear their palate.
Seen that.
Yeah, dude, I've seen it in a few places. I thought it was a fantastic idea. This smells like chocolate cake, dude.
I told you.
This is probably the best smelling extract that I've ever smelled. Like
Taste.
as far as like,
We'll get you set up here.
holy
and then-
crap, man,
Tastes just like icing. Cake icing.
Yeah, we got the electro warming up.
dude, huh? Let me see your face on that.
Yeah, we were in a Class 5 restaurant on Saturday night. We can't say which one, but we were vaping in there, and nobody
What?
could tell.
This
Nobody
is
could tell. It
ridiculous.
tastes just like cake.
People think it's like they're baking in the back in the.
It smells like
the
chocolate
kitchen.
sugar.
Dude, it's insane, isn't it?
What?
Chocolate
I'm gonna need-
icing.
I need to get some
exactly.
chocolate
It's
icing
specifically chocolate
and
icing.
see.
Huh? I mean, it is.
And it's just labeled cake. That's awesome.
Somebody asked us if we adulterated it with some chocolate.
This is wrong. I want to eat it.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, man, it's great with the vape because it smells like a bakery. So everywhere you go, people are. But it's definitely not bud.
Wow.
It's,
Can you do it again?
we're trying. We're working on it.
This could be awesome because no one else could do this. I've never smelled anything like this unless it was in a bakery.
More or less, I'm just bringing that out for an example of the capabilities with terpenes that we have with our extractions. I'd love to reincarnate that, so to speak, and find a way to make more and more of it. And I think we'll figure it out, but it's just the terpenes are very unusual. We did a blend. We just threw some stuff together, and that's what we ended up with. So the reason we have a problem remaking it is just material. We know how we made it, but we don't have any more of that growing right now.
I see.
That's rough.
Dude, that's cool though. Dude,
it's here for now. It'll be around later.
Great job, guys, man.
But in the meantime, there's a lot of other great stuff on the shelves. We've got this tangerine is just phenomenal.
Let me smell some of that.
Yeah.
The tangerine since like almost day one has been a staple of the show here. I'm still smelling the cake, dude. I still smell the cake.
They probably should smell the cake last from now on.
I know, man. It's just it sticks. Wow. I'm absolutely amazed. Were you amazed?
I can still smell it.
Dude, it's crazy.
No, we're not broadcasting, by the way.
Huh?
According to the chat room.
Does the chat room say we were having
Can't
issues?
see or hear us.
I'll restart it.
All right.
See if that'll fix it. Sometimes there's issues. Dude, the tangerine is just absolutely insane. Too. But it's not as much as the cake.
It's not
looks like
it's
tangerine.
tough to beat the cake. Like I said, we should probably break that out last from now on.
The cake should always be the last. Let me
Can't even
just
smell
tell you
anything.
I can smell a little bit of the
I can
tangerine.
smell cake still.
We'll mix it once we get the dabber in there and get a turn on it.
Right. No, I'm just saying that cake is so strong.
It's just overpowering.
Yeah, it's crazy. So who's up first? Who's gonna try the cake?
Me?
Yep.
There you go, man.
Tell me if it tastes like cake, and blow the smoke over at Tim.
Hold on. All right, there we go.
That was the rig we used at the cup.
I remember
It was pretty
this.
fun.
All right, is the chat room good? Because I'm just blasting volume here.
It is. Yep. We're on.
All right. I think that's ridiculous how that thing is just such a... Dude, I'm serious. The biggest pain in the butt in the world
Is it temperamental?
is the recording system that we have. It just pisses me off like crazy. All right.
Yeah.
Let me get some levels here.
So you,
That should be.
Am I waiting, Tim? Or?
Go ahead.
Oh, okay. We can hear it.
Keep talking about it. Yeah. I
well,
mean,
I'll tell you, there's going to be a little sizzle. We really didn't even attempt to take the water out because we didn't want to damage any of that flavor. But we'll see what the.
Not very much.
Attaboy.
which one did you hit?
Oh my god, it tastes just like it smells.
Isn't that nuts?
Wow.
Yeah, a lot of the flavor really carries over.
Wow, it tastes exactly like it smells, like chocolate frosting. Changes a little bit at the end. But wow.
Could have been this dabber was a little dirty too, with some oil on it.
The dabber was dirty?
But wow, I can still taste it. Are you going?
Yeah, I'll go. Here, I'm trying to get everything set.
Oh, you
so help me out here, dude.
Cool. Here. You need me to press buttons?
Noise levels, A, B, C, D, E, F, G.
Mondays.
So tell us more about for people that haven't listened to the show before, tell us like the extract process. What exactly you guys are sitting there doing while you got your process.
The process that we have, it's pretty basic. I mean,
you got headphones?
No. Can you hear me?
It's all good. Keep going.
Yeah, it's pretty basic.
My
Saturation.
My equipment screws me.
Saturation.
We just attempt to saturate the material with liquid CO2 and use the CO2 as the extraction solvent. Kind of the same theory as your other extractions with regards to washing or running the solvent through the material. But we just use CO2 as opposed to some of the alternatives. We're hearing about hexane. We're hearing about, obviously, everybody knows about BHO. We're starting to hear about people doing extractions with propane.
Saw some of that at the cup.
So, yeah, it's just our chosen method to use CO2. We do it because we're absolutely positive every test we've ever had for solvent residue always shows absolutely no residue. So for us on the extraction side, it's a positive to not deal with it and not have the question surrounding whether there's this many nanograms or that many nanograms or whatever, because ours always has 0. So
that's awesome.
That's probably the number one reason why we chose this method. And now, because there's not a lot of information on extracting cannabis with CO2, we're kind of just trying to figure out all the attributes and all the things, all the potentialities, all the potential of what we can do with CO2 and cannabis. So right now we're just, I think the last time we were here we had like 200 runs in. I think we're quickly approaching 300 now because we've been really ramping it up, and we've got quite a database of information. Our yields, we're starting to blow our yields out with some proprietary techniques.
Right on.
In the last 2 weeks we've even gone over 15% one time.
Wow.
So,
right on.
For the most part,
just from changing up the tech a little bit.
Yeah, just changing up some of the pre-extraction factors, and then some of the during extraction components, pressure, temperature, and then post-extraction, making sure that we don't damage terpenes. We get a great product, a great flavored product with the method we're doing. Our challenge was always how do we make it financially feasible with low yields, because when we started we were at the 6 to 8% range.
Right.
So in essence, after 250 runs, we figured out how come we didn't think of this before. But nonetheless,
there's got to be a ton of options.
There's a lot of options and a lot of things that you can do. We've been trying to translate some of the other extraction technique, like I said, pre-extraction techniques that some of the solventless guys use and the BHO guys use, and trying to use some of the techniques and incorporate them into our methodology. And we're seeing increased yields. We've been between 11 and 15, which is good for everyone.
For sure.
Especially when we're doing strain specific. The supply is always going to be limited. You're really limited to the trim. And once that trim's run and we get 60, 70 grams, 80 grams of that specific strain, we won't have it again for a while.
Right.
So that's kind of a downer for our customers, because they come in one day, get something they really like, and then 3 days later, it's 70 grams of that stuff is gone.
Wow, that's a lot of grammage.
Yeah, we're moving a lot of this oil. It's, we're getting a lot of positive feedback. I get good emails from customers and patients that feel a sense of ease about the fact that there's no solvent residue and no question about whether there is.
Sure, it was never there.
And then, people who are finding that with us retaining all the terpenes and other, basics of the of the plant matter, or the plant, excuse me, people are finding it just really makes them feel better.
Yeah. Dude, it's
That's
a
what we
clearer
want.
high. I mean, it's for sure a 100% clearer high. I enjoy the high much better with CO2 extract than I do almost anything else, man. I mean, not saying that I don't enjoy any other high. It's just that the CO2 extract has, like, for me, the clearest. One of the cleanest.
I think so too. I don't feel any kind of heaviness in the top of my chest, and I don't get those cough attacks quite the same.
Hold it on. Yeah.
I don't know.
It's just a
I
different
would
high.
follow
That's
up
me.
with that headband or the tangerine.
I'm going Tange.
Let me hit one of those. Okay.
Sure.
I don't really see any downside to our technique, although it's not the most well-known technique on the planet. You kind of have to consider the entire cannabis culture has been underground for 50 years. I mean, you could go on and on about how, here we go. Are you going to do a Tange?
Tim's going to do
Yeah, I
some
want a Tange, definitely.
This one is...
Goddamn, make it hard as hell for me to grab. I'm like,
I don't know what you wanted to do. I wasn't moving.
This one's especially strong. It definitely has a kick.
I'm looking for a kick.
Yeah, you'll get one.
I'm almost wanting to restart the show. I'm having such freaking difficulties with this damn machine over here. I don't know what the hell it is, dude. Every day we come in and this thing likes to
kicking you off.
Just kicks you in the cojones. No, it doesn't kick off. Just
is it on?
For a minute there for a second. It's working fine. They didn't hear
what
the
you got
beginning
here,
of the
man?
show.
Is this another nail?
Woo! Yeah, it's just a box. All right. I'm gonna try it.
All right, time for the Tangy.
There you go. Tangerine. All right. I like this little email.
Yeah, it just doesn't look all cracked out with the torch and.
It was awesome at the cup when you're trying to dab a line of people out. The nail was the way to go because once they wiped the mouthpiece clean, they were ready. The nails
Sure.
was on.
Non-stop party with that thing. Keep going. Take your friends with you.
I'm glad he didn't do the cake first.
Yeah, the cake really. Yeah.
Why is the cake? What?
It just covers it all.
It's different.
Save the best for last.
May get a little cake taste in it though.
See, we were talking about like what makes a rig and what would make what makes a good rig, what makes a good bong. And this would be a good bong.
Because it's
but not
ginormous.
necessarily a good rig.
Well, someone said the amount of
because it's like you have to like. I mean, you gotta like super lungs for it.
Well, do one of your rigs, man.
I mean, I'm not complaining. We were just averaging out.
That was a clear complaint.
Averaging out the situation, and because we've been arguing the past couple of days about what makes a rig and what doesn't make a rig. So,
do people get splashed in the face with this one?
Do what? Yeah, I mean, it can happen. Definitely.
You may.
That nail.
I think that just the danger for that is that, especially with people that aren't very experienced, and for being at the cup and stuff, we use this because you've got a lot of people who may not be as familiar, and the heat. I mean, you torch that short little nail, and if you're not fluent in dabbing, man, you could roast your lungs.
Sure.
So with this, we kind of make sure you get a colder hit.
Filtered nice.
That's the other thing. I just don't want it to hurt your lungs. Yeah. So that definitely.
A lot of new dabbers at the cup for sure. So.
Oh man.
Where's a paper towel to wipe that thing?
Where's the rig rag, dude?
Where's the
rig rag?
The rig rag?
The JDR rig rag?
We need a rig rag. All right, I apologize to everybody listening to us live and on the podcast there, because it's stupid having ridiculous problems with this stupid machine. So don't worry about it; it'll be all right.
Well, I want to get kind of back to a point.
Yeah, let's.
The point about CO2.
I also have business stuff to talk about with you guys too.
All right. No business, man.
Just fun.
Well, you said you had wanted to talk about maybe vertical integration and stuff like that here for a second. I don't know if you guys had.
I don't want to get too political today, but
that's cool.
Yeah, no. I think my biggest point was now that all that kind of has been all kind of figured out, it's not quite as big a factor, but get it hot and wipe it down.
Well, I was going to see how here in a bit, like if you wanted to talk about it, how you think like it'll play out for businesses here in the first like year. Obviously with everything happening. But what were you trying to get back into?
CO2 extractions and kind of the stigma and so forth. you know, you have to realize this has been an underground industry for pretty much the entire history. Very recently, we've got a couple states, California, Colorado, and now we have some new ones materializing every day. I just read something about Vermont today. And I kind of was thinking that if I'm a person anywhere in the world and I want to have an extract, I pretty much have two basic options. I have bubble bags and, all your water hash techniques. And then, in the last 10, 15, 20 years, butane extractions have started to, have become kind of another method for people. And it's pretty easy and practical for anyone in the world to make a tube, buy some butane, and do an extraction. On the flip side, anywhere in the world, if somebody wanted to try CO2, it's beyond inaccessible. So what I'm getting at is because of that factor, there's not a lot of knowledge about it. There's not a lot of awareness about it. And even if people read about it, it's so inaccessible to them that it's not really relevant. So because of that, maybe technology isn't as far ahead as it could be. Because of that, I think people prefer other methods just because of their lack of access.
Yeah.
But I think as we start to get better, as we start to evolve the product, as we evolve the extractions, I'm pretty sure that the rest of the public and people who are dabbing and smoking concentrates are going to see, the potential we see in it all.
So what did you guys see in as far as feedback at the Cup? Like what were people telling you?
Well,
about your extract?
Never had any negative feedback. As a matter of fact, we had a ton of wows. So you can look at our video we posted on Facebook and on Vimeo.
Yeah, I checked that out. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, and everybody that you saw take a rip is like, wow. I mean, we get that all the time. So that's that feedback. Obviously we didn't win anything at the Cup. We entered a lot of stuff. We see quite consistently if we ever see testing judge results in some of the competitions we've done in the past. We'll see some good scores, and then we'll just see an absolute hater score. That's fine. I think it's very easy to recognize what we have. It's definitely sticks out in a pile of extracts. You take away those obvious biases, and I don't know that we have a product yet to compete on the world level, but I'm thinking by next year.
Why would you say that you don't have a product yet to compete on the world level?
I think the reason I say that is consistency of the product. There's a pretty standard consistency out there that people are looking for.
What's not consistent about what you make, though?
I wouldn't say consistency from a quality control standpoint. I mean the oil versus a shatter or something solid.
Okay. I see what you were getting at.
Or something real waxy. I think those things are kind of what everybody sees and everybody experiences. And when we first started, people were like, "Oh, it's too runny. It's this, it's that, it splashes." And so, I think we've broken some of those Well, I think we've just gotten beyond some of those things that some of the extract people out there are accepting that that's just what CO2 does, and this is how CO2 is, and it's a different thing. So that's what I mean. Now, consistency from the product. One jar to the next is always consistent. One run from the next is consistent on the extraction. Of course, how you grow it and the quality of material always plays into it. But from a quality control consistency, no issues whatsoever.
Because that's what I was gonna say. Because it is an awesome product. There's really nothing bad about it.
Look at that tange and how it's just sitting there in a bubble.
Sure, yeah.
And then look at the the headband next to it, and it's just fills the bottom of the. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, sure. There's that has definitely some more stability to it.
There's more stability to that. I think people like stability. I don't, because I think in my experience, the more stable I try to make it, the more I damage the terpene profile.
Ooh. Yeah, I like oils.
Headband stinks.
Yeah,
oily.
Yeah, I'm gonna hit the tange first, I think.
Here,
the tange is really good, dude. Awesome strain.
Is this tange
the Bruce Banner.
Yeah, you guys make sure you guys watch your lids, because.
Okay.
Yeah, do not mix up the lids, dude.
I can.
The
I can tell which ones were.
Americo can take. He can tell. Just like any good hash artist, you can tell exactly what you're making.
These guys are in the lab every day. You know, I want to make sure these guys get some recognition because they're the guys in the lab every day. They're the ones we sit down and we figure out what experiments and things we're going to do, and then they go execute them, and then we look at the results and we go from there, and then we come up with something else, and then we do that, and then we come up with something else. And
The headband.
Which one did you take? Tangerine? Oh. Nice. Wow. Tangerine is amazing.
That's like biting into a tangerine right through the peel. You get the bitterness of it and the sweetness when you get to the nectar.
The nectar.
That is strong too. Wow.
You crack me up.
Yeah, that one's super strong, man.
It's very noticeably stronger. Wow. Well done. Well done.
Well, then you get that banner. Take a whiff of that banner. We're real excited about that one. The buds on the banner were just white, frosty white. I mean, and the tange too. I mean, the tange is extremely frosty, but the banner, I mean, it kind of made the tange even look bad from a frost standpoint.
You know what it tastes like right now? Remember in the 80s they had Otter Pops in summertime? It tastes like an orange one. I don't think
an orange Otter Pop is what it tastes like?
Yeah.
Haven't heard that one.
I haven't had an orange Otter Pop in 20 years, so.
Hey.
Damn, this shit is really strong, I'll tell you what.
I like it. I want to try that chocolate cake here in a second.
Wow, Bruce Banner smells
the cake.
Interesting. Here,
Bruce Banner has always been one of my favorite ones, man. I've always enjoyed the Bruce Banner.
I'll tell you, I love growing
recover and enjoy this.
Awesome.
So.
What do you enjoy about the Bruce Banner, like growing it? Like, what is it?
It's just hardy. Just very hardy plant, solid, good yield. And, of course, anything that's triked out like that is something you want to keep in your grow.
Yeah.
I mean, we've got, if whatever we grow, if it doesn't really trike out heavily, then we don't keep growing it. That's kind of my theory.
Whoa.
What are you guys laughing at over there?
It just hit him.
Yeah.
Bam.
It's good.
What's your favorite? So, what is your favorite strain to turn into the to the CO2
God, man,
extract?
that's the blast that we're having.
Keep
with
asking
this.
you guys.
Well, we can't because every time you see us, it'll be something new because we keep running
What is
new
it this
things.
time?
My favorite right now is that tangerine. Is just the buzz, man. It's very motivational. I'll hit it at 10, and I'll be wired on crack till 8.
Pretty accurate.
That tange is up for sure.
It's definitely an upper.
I mean, yeah.
What'd you say about
that
it?
Tangerine is up for sure.
Wow.
Pretty immediate.
It's an awesome strain, man. It's one of my favorite strains.
I need some of this tangerine oil.
I've had.
You got 30 grams, so get them while you can.
30 grams.
For me, definitely. I mean,
we just did a test run. I mean, we'll have more.
So
runs.
That's the exciting thing when you have these delicious strains and then you turn them into delicious oil. It's just the quality of what we start with. It's just all about what you start with, the material that you start with. So
what?
That's been our biggest
Try the
challenge
cake.
too. We've been trying like hell to use other people's trim, and every time we do it, it's like, man, it's leaves something to be desired. I think we don't mess with the trim whatsoever. All the airy, larvae stuff on the bottom ends up in the extraction. We get stuff from people, and it looks obvious that it's keefed or came out of the twister trimmer, and it looks like dog doo-doo, and that's kind of our limitation right now. I guess
quality trim for these nice strain specific runs that are pretty much boutique style, honestly, where you're really trying to capture the flavor of that particular flower, so it's crucial to not have just a bunch of garbage.
Good Meds, I'm going to call out those guys because they
have awesome
John Knapp
trim.
and Christy Kelly and all them. They have great product, and when we get their trim, it's like looks like our trim, and we're happy about that. And then their final product looks and smells epic. Still not close enough?
No, you got it. I'm just trying to get the best product possible here. It's driving me nuts. I need Bike to be driving the interview right now.
Oh, I'm sorry. You shouldn't have given me that tangent.
It's your turn, Tim.
Yeah, I told everybody.
Tim's gonna try some cake.
I told
Yo,
the
I want
guys
some of that
no
chocolate
smoking
cake
before this thing.
We're gonna do a little reverse interview.
I want it. Yeah.
What have you guys been up to?
Smoking some tange.
What's Cannabis Radio been up to?
CO2.
We're talking a lot about the Colorado laws and stuff.
You seen listenership go up and?
Oh yeah, for sure. We've definitely seen a lot of listenership increase.
Good.
Feedback. Dude.
I got my first hate mail.
Really?
Yeah.
It ain't the last.
No, that means I'm doing right.
I think so. Yeah, I used to be kind of touchy about that too when I hadn't really received the kind of criticisms that I did when we first got into this.
Well, yeah, you got to expect it. I had Tim read it on the air just to get it over with.
You did, huh?
Yeah.
Break the mold.
What I want to hear.
Oh, just like how
He was hurt. He was hurt a little bit.
We don't have to revisit it.
I'm childish, but yeah, the stuff we already knew. You know?
Yeah.
Nothing. It was just funny to hear a stranger calling me out on.
People get bored pretty easy. People
They wanted to hear some real old school JDR, and Tim just did a lot of news and serious, opinionated stuff. And I just like to point out when Tim says words like a crossed instead of a cross.
It smells like fucking
cake.
Yeah, it smells like cake in here. Yeah.
Wow. Somebody check the timer. You're burning.
Wow,
Yes.
dude.
Right? Yeah. Wow, dude. And his eyes closed.
Holy sh!
Just like cake.
Wow. Like there is for sure.
Doesn't smell like weed.
No.
Not only does like the smell when it hits you, like because you smell it in the air, and the smoke is just so flavorful. I mean, it I'm still smelling it. I mean, cake.
Tasting.
Like
Yeah.
it's cake. Like frosting. It's like you put your hand inside of a big thing of frosting, and it was just like
Still
all over
smells
your
like
face,
it.
On a
dude.
spoon, like
Just
you
like
just
completely.
licked a chocolate spoon.
Exactly. Just like you licked a chocolate spoon. Shiz is nuts.
Yeah.
Here, you guys keep this on hand for yourselves here.
Oh, that's too kind.
We got 3 left, so you guys can have one.
That's too kind of you.
Until next
Some
time.
more good shit.
Dude, I really got to applaud you guys for that.
accidentally discovering this.
That would, dude. That's some of the best discoveries, man.
I hear you, dude.
Some of the best discoveries. But I'm telling you right now, man, this may be some of the best tasting, smelling.
I can
extract that I have
still
ever,
smell it.
Ever. This is a whole different smell. This is like, there's weed extract, the BHO. I mean, there's BHO extract,
Right.
alcohol extract. This smells completely different than anything.
Yeah, we definitely struck gold with that
This is
one.
nuts, man. I'm honestly blown away. I really
It
am.
gives everybody the
I
same
give that
reaction.
an award.
Everybody gets the same reaction. I don't think we haven't had it tested. It definitely doesn't hit you as hard as say that Tange.
Oh my god.
It doesn't have to though. That's not
Right. It's weird how it like makes up for it.
Yeah, it's all about the
by
flavor
going
on that
raw,
one.
and
Yeah,
that's definitely
it's just
something I love is the flavor.
Right.
flavors, dude, outstanding on
That's
that.
that's my favorite part when I first went to a dispensary, you know, like in 2008, 2009. My favorite part was all the different selections and the jars and
Right.
then opening the jars and smelling each individual strain and how distinguishable they were and enjoying the characteristics. And I've, you know, in my limited exposure to concentrates, I think people are starting to jump on the terpene bandwagon right now, but I know for the last couple years it was just all about let's concentrate it as much as we can, 90%, 95%, 98%, and in doing all that, I think that just wasn't the direction we ever wanted to go in. We wanted to enjoy the flavor and the taste and the different attributes in the same way that we could enjoy the flowers.
Is that what people, I mean, in sales, are you seeing more of your flavorful stuff go off the shelves quicker?
Definitely.
Is that why Americo's shaking his head over here? Yes?
Yeah,
That's
'cause
something that you're seeing?
Once you taste it, I mean, you know, and once your friend hits it, I mean, who doesn't want cake? You know, who
Right.
wouldn't want that? You know, who wouldn't want the tangerine, the flavor, the high you got off of that? I mean,
and genetics
so
of your
it sells itself, you know, and that's why we have a problem keeping it on the shelf.
The cake has to be a good strain for PMS. Sure.
Oh yeah, for the late, yeah, it's a
double whammy right there.
Exactly.
Why are you going there on
With
that
the
one?
painkiller and with the
chocolate.
Well, because I'm just
if
thinking
their panties are painful, you know, help them drop them.
God damn it, dude. You're always the one to sit there and always the one to sit there and offend the ladies, dude.
I wasn't offending the ladies. I was
It's
trying to help the
medicinal.
ladies out.
It's a medicinal topic. It's
more
a
hate
medicinal
mail coming.
application.
Hey, it's Monday.
That's
We got all week.
Mike's way of saying he loves the ladies. It just is. No, that's
We all
I mean,
know that.
Definitely love the ladies. That's why we do this.
The can the cake extract is just. I mean, I'm blown away by it. Also, so I mean, what are some of the biggest flavors that you guys have that are selling like the most? I mean, what's some of the biggest?
I mean, they all sell like pretty much equally quick or equally as fast. I would say the more fruity, the more like kind of like the Tanges. The bubblegum was a really big seller. We haven't had that for a while. The Northern Lights, which has a really super strong terpene profile. The Master Kush we sold as fast as we had it. The cake. The ones that people don't tend to like for instance, like the cheese. The cheese is a great flower, but people don't. You either like that flavor or you don't. Same with like the OG. The OG profile that we are able to pull is just phenomenal, but some people just don't like it. We have people who come to the store only for our OG bud, and then other people who won't touch it with a 10-foot pole. So we found there are some strains that are really just.
Why won't they touch it? What's the issue with
flavor? Just people don't like the flavors.
People don't like the flavor of the OG?
No.
Your OG Kush Cut is awesome.
Yeah, it's very tasty, but
sharp.
We just have people to say that's just not my thing. That the OG isn't. Can I get a Master Kush? And
well,
then
because people are used to either a Kush or a watered down OG, and you're the real thing.
It's super. It hits you hard.
It smells like burnt rubber, like OG.
It does.
I miss it. I haven't think I've had that since last summer over there.
We had a cool.
I wanted to hit a little of that
Culture.
headband. No, that he has some tange.
Dude, the OG
headband really cuts through amazingly, like above everything else.
Headband will cover your eyebrows just as well as your hat.
Hey, have you guys hit the? I haven't hit the banner yet. I mean, we literally just ran that on Saturday.
Oh, really?
Oh, that was
I haven't
Sunday.
either.
Oh, Sunday? Yesterday? Oh, yeah. We ran the banner yesterday.
Dude, they're
24/7 in this.
And we didn't have to purge it for a week.
Right.
The part of OG that I like is that the peppery, like how it has a peppery.
Right.
I don't get that. I get a burnt rubber.
Yeah, spicy peppery.
Like those old Mikados and some of those older strains that were just like different because they were peppery, and that's what you need that. You need that variety, that difference.
Yeah, if you could pull out that peppery, like spicy OG. I mean, that's interesting that you're finding that people aren't really into that flavor necessarily because. I mean, from the amount of people that talk about liking OGs, you would be like, damn,
right.
That's going to be one of the best sellers, but that's interesting.
Just the profile.
Interesting. Are the highs usually really nice with the OGs? I mean, is it as opposed to...
I'm personally a fan of the OG myself.
We had tests come out raw without any
but
other...
I like the OG, so...
Yeah.
It doesn't... That's what I like about it.
All our tests are raw, too. They're not after being winterized or concentrated in other secondary processes. So, we get tests. We've had them as low as 40, no doubt. We've had them as high as 80.
And that's THC percentage?
Yeah.
What about CBDs and stuff?
Well, you've got your standard, like, CBD counts from your standard strains. We haven't really run any CBD specific strains, which is something I'd really, really like to do. But... your kind of standard CBDs from, the 1% to maybe, I think the highest CBD we had was 8% in the Northern Lights.
My friend, too, the R4 strain, the R4.
Yeah, yep. Greenworks, right?
He's the one that, not 2, my friend, he's the one that,
2,
that's his strain.
Okay.
So
yeah.
we might be able to talk him into maybe sliding you guys maybe some.
That'd be awesome. I think...
Because honestly, man, that strain is... helping people. I mean, it's not necessarily getting you high, it's getting you that CBD relief. And honestly, for kids, they're finding more and more that this is a fantastic thing to use in autism. Right. Autism especially, man. And that I like to see, autistic kids get relief. I don't know who wouldn't, but it seems like cannabis, when I say that, it seems cannabis is the number one drug in some situations that these parents can use for their children, and that's the amazing part about it.
In so many situations, it's almost like the cannabis plant is helping us right all the wrongs that we do to ourselves. I mean, autism on the rise, and all kinds of problems that we're having today. And
I can't believe the stories that I hear about CBD strains and how much they help. Some kids that don't respond to other medications and aren't doing well with them. It absolutely amazes me how much And people respond to it too, the general public. I mean, as a whole,
Edibles.
it's not just like our community that's, seeking out this issue and amazed by it. I mean, the story catches and it's
What do you
running.
think of the headband?
Yeah,
Did you hit the headband over there?
It's
Honest opinions always. From
sure.
you guys,
It's
man.
I feel it's slowing me down. Like I know that Tange got me like woo, and this has got me like
knocked you down a peg.
Actually, that Tange was a little bit speedy.
Yeah, it is.
I for sure.
Yeah,
I definitely agree.
You know what's amazing
But I still
about that
love
is
this
it
strain.
finishes in 50 days.
That
That's
Tange. Yeah, it is a quick.
There's a few versions of that, like Mandarin and all these other ones that I'm hearing about, but this one's Flow times grapefruit.
Yeah,
So I think that's where the from that flow, that up.
Well, I mean, I don't know if it's
That's
flow
sativa
though.
side, but-
I don't know. It's like
I'm not sure.
Let's see here. It's we think it's grapefruit, think it's flow, but there is Colorado cough, like a purple pheno of Colorado cough in it. It's like, let me see. Let me go there.
Canapoo's chatting here, and he says that it's tangerine is a flow male times a grapefruit from British Columbia, clone only.
It's not from British Columbia, clone only. It's from here in Colorado.
He's talking about this tangerine that we're smoking.
The tangerine that we're smoking specifically?
Yes.
If this is the Tange, it's a Colorado strain. It's bred outdoors, accidentally.
There's no Colorado cough in it.
Canapoo's the man who got it to us. So
Really?
Grapefruit is
They'll tell you.
95% sativa also.
Where does he say he got it from? I'm not arguing. I just want to know.
He hasn't said yet. Where'd you get it from, Canapoo?
On JohnDoeRadio.com. You can go to JohnDoeRadio.com, and we have under home, there's a strain review. The very last strain review that we did is the Colorado Tangerine.
Says he gave it to them.
He gave it to who?
Them.
Who's them? Oh, them. Yeah. No, I understand that.
Oh, okay then.
But I'm trying to get it down to straight. Like, which tangerine are we talking about?
I'm telling you right now. It's Flo was the daddy times the mom, which is grapefruit, which is a clone only from British Columbia. It's 95% sativa. So you got a sativa and a sativa. That's why I'm all sativaed out. And then the headband came in and slowed me down.
I wonder if it is the same Tange, man. Because
Well,
we
you
talked about
saw
the Tange
it, and
for
you were
years
all
and
like,
years. And it did. It looks like the Tange.
Tange.
It looks
I'm
exactly
gonna
like the
bust.
Tange.
You saw we got some pictures. We've had some pictures up on it here.
It does look exactly like the Tange.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I know that we've had tangerine for years and years and years, and it looks like the same exact one.
Right.
And that's pretty much the cross that it was. Is what he's talking about.
The crossed?
Yeah. The crossed. It's cool though.
But you can
I do like the
definitely
eye.
tell it's a
You
super speedy sativa.
Yeah, I'm gonna try the Bruce. I gotta try the
What else?
Yeah.
We gotta be the first ones to try the Bruce.
Here it is, Tim.
What was Greg trying to sell us there? Something important?
Nope.
I mean, it does. I mean, it looks exactly like. It looks exactly like Tange. I'm not gonna argue it because I mean it's not my strain specifically. If Derek were here, he'd be given the fifth.
Of course.
He'd be like grilling.
Well, hey man, that's not to say somebody couldn't engineer the same thing. Come on,
I
you know what I mean.
Dude, the crazy thing about Tange was that I never got used to the high. Like I just never could get used to it. I grew it for a long time, for years, and every time I would have a harvest.
Doesn't plateau.
I never would get used to it. You know, I'd switch to other strains, come back to it, and it would always clearly be my favorite strain,
John,
of the bunch.
Turn that camera to Max.
So,
Other could see me sitting there just kind of twiddling.
He's just chilling back. That's all good.
No, I was gonna.
Nah, he's prepping. He's getting ready. He's getting some.
He's got the Evo Lab shirt on.
We'll try the Bruce.
So how many strains do you guys have on shelf probably right now? Over
oil?
82 South Federal Boulevard, by the way, is where everybody can
Come tomorrow.
get this
tomorrow. My
Earl.
delivery isn't there yet. I've got a delivery.
So you got delivery coming in tomorrow, and then gonna have how many strains are you gonna have with it?
A dozen. I think we always
A
have
dozen
anywhere
strains?
from 10 to 12. of the oils, and then 12 to 15 of flour. We
This
try
will
to
be-
just get really good
This
at
will be a
everybody.
great week, though, man. We got a lot of tasty stuff in the pipeline.
Yeah, the Tange will be on the
for
shelves
sure.
tomorrow. That's very limited.
good.
The Bruce banner is going to be on the shelves. That's limited. The headband is on the shelves. That's limited. Then we've got, we've got on the shelf right now that as we speak, Northern Lights. Golly, man, I'm drawing a blank. What the hell?
Northern Lights is one of my favorites too, by the way. Like, it's one of my favorite highs that you guys have as far as medicinal value
check
too.
the menu because I've drawn a blank.
It makes
G13 haze.
The Northern Lights we have in particular, like I really like because it really vapes really well.
Is it
So,
the number
I mean,
5
that's what, like,
Northern Lights that you guys?
We bought it. We've been I bought this about 11 years ago. A seed from Attitude Seed Bank. Northern Lights. It was by Nirvana Seeds, and it was just Northern Lights, is what the box says.
Just said Northern Lights.
Yeah,
but
it wasn't a.
Yeah, but people that smoke it, I've had people say, "Oh, that's the number 1," and then I had somebody else say that's number 5. So
Really?
I don't know. The box that we have from Nirvana just says Northern Lights.
Yeah.
So
dang, man. Because that was one of the strains back in 2007 when I got into trouble and raided. Like the police took, I don't know, I remember exactly how much they took from me, but I got 2 ounces back, an ounce of refry from the Silver Surfer vaporizer that I was like saving up to give to a friend to put in edibles, and then like an ounce of Northern Lights number 5 outdoor grown, which is by far the best outdoor grown cannabis that I've ever had. And this specific kind got had like I forget how many, like a 6-month cure inside police lockup, so it was extra sweet.
Nice.
Tasted extra sweet. So.
Oh yeah.
When I first went to Western State College, my first
that black and blue cure.
My first week there, some guy from Massachusetts brought some Northern Lights, and it was the sickest bud I had ever seen to that point. I was 18 years old, and I remember smoking that and having to get up and leave because I got kind of scared. And I'd never been that stoned before. So I was like, all right, guys.
You go to school in Colorado?
Going back to my dorm. Yeah, Western State and Gunnison.
And someone from Massachusetts.
Oh, you went to Western State?
Right on.
My stepbrother went to Western State. That's pretty cool. Western State is right there in mountains, like crazy deep mountains.
Those were the days. Those days when about my junior year, we rented an apartment and blacked out all the windows and was stocking the school up for my junior and senior year. We rented this apartment and grew in the back 3 rooms.
Hell yeah.
Those were the good old days. Boy, I don't miss that anxiety.
Oh, I can't even imagine.
At all, man.
That's awesome. They have it's by Leadville too.
No, Gunnison's way south.
Is it not? Okay.
Yeah, we.
I was gonna say because there's this strain called Leadville Love that was from the area. That
I guess you could say Leadville's halfway between here and there. I guess
it was like gold. This it looked like Golden Goat does. Like really
pot of gold,
popcornish, Golden Goat.
Pot of gold.
Is there gold? Hey, is there a Golden Goat for a run over there?
Golden Goat?
We just harvested a bunch of Golden Goat. Well, not a bunch, like 6 plants. We're gonna throw on the shelf. The buds look great, but I'm wondering if we have enough material for a run.
It'd be a small run.
Yeah.
Of the Golden Goat.
We got another harvest coming soon that we're just gonna tack it onto.
Sweet.
Nice.
Got some great new strains coming up too. We got something called Zeus OG, which is an OG crossed with something secret.
Zeus OG,
Mob Boss.
OG crossed with something secret.
Something secret is a haze.
So when somebody tells you something secret,
no, it's from our friend Canapu. We're sworn to never tell.
Ooh.
So he knows what the Zeus OG is.
Those are the favorite ones. Those are the best ones. When no one ever tells.
You're like, you can't say nothing.
We've got a.
This is Bruce Banner.
Oh, nice.
This smells amazing too, by the way. This smells really
Where's
fantastic.
the 710 cup going to be?
When is it going to be?
Where?
I believe it is scheduled to be at the Expo Center.
Dude, I got an email, by the way, from the head of the 710 Cup, the head of Grassroots, yesterday.
What'd they say?
He's like, he stood upside down and talking into the microphone like I am. Because, anyway, I'll tell you about it later. I can't talk about it on the air.
Oh, no. Thanks.
Top secret.
What I can tell you is we'll probably get involved.
Oh.
We had been involved.
Are we going?
Okay. So here's what happened.
Okay.
I had said that
Get upside down again. It was going better.
No, I know. I needed to turn the camera on me. I was like talking like this for people watching live. Almost mooning Alex. So sorry about that, Alex. No, what I had said is that the 710 Cup and the High Times Cup could possibly be illegal soon, because from what I'm hearing,
could possibly
the Denver
be
County
illegal.
Illegal
Okay.
soon.
Thank you.
Because
I got that dab
the
right
Denver City Council
on the
is
holes so it doesn't run up.
Denver City Council is possibly thinking about outlawing specific smoking events, like events like the Cup,
where people are smoking.
yeah, like smoking get-togethers. Because you already can't have a bar type setting in Colorado. You can't open an establishment and for people to specifically get together, charge, entry to get in. I don't know. It's gonna get crazy, dude. Anyway, so that comments made it back to the 710 Cup. So I got to talk with them about it, and in no way in that it was a news report. You said, do you remember the post at all?
No.
I'll show you the post. I'll read it maybe later.
So you got in
today or
trouble? You got
tomorrow.
yelled at by Doug?
What's that?
You got yelled at by Dougie? Is that it?
By Dougie?
Yeah.
No, not Dougie.
Oh.
I'll talk about it. We'll talk about it here coming up.
Well, that'd be really disappointing if they did.
I
I think it'd be really short-sighted too. I mean,
all I was doing was promoting news. I wasn't
Yeah.
promoting
Right.
like my view of it. I think this sucks.
right? It does
I
suck.
hate it.
because
I
we're
hate
looking
it.
forward to having a bigger cup next year. Just
Yeah.
a bigger. Anyway,
I'm gonna hit this. Take it, Mike.
Yes.
How awesome is this magazine ban? Like up until now, you could see a High Times on the front rack at 7-Eleven, and now because
Well, now you have to be embarrassed.
pot is legal,
You have to
gotta-
be
it's gotta
embarrassed
go with the
and,
porn. It's awesome.
right. If, like, act like you're buying porn,
Right.
which you should just go to a porn shop if you want
Which
porn.
one's
but
that? Bruce or Headband?
Bruce Banner,
Bruce
number
Banner.
3.
Bruce Headband number 3.
It's good. What were you saying?
So I'm wondering, I don't know.
I have news about the ad ban and like people who are going to sue for it. The Denver Post editorial board wrote against it today too. So, I mean, it's going to be a bigger issue for sure, in the long run. It's nice to see the Denver Post actually stand up for First Amendment rights. So.
No doubt.
They were like halfway in between, like banning. I don't know. They kind of gave like a two-sided editorial when it came to the advertising ban. I mean, did that affect you guys? Because they're in Denver.
I mean, we never had anybody out there twirling a sign anyway.
Yeah, it was like sign twirlers were a big thing that they banned. I mean,
we didn't.
Did it have anything to do?
They had them right down the street from you for sure.
Definitely, we didn't have.
Was it just sign
big old
twirlers?
prices, $20 eights,
Right.
and stuff like that.
Guys in dragon suits dancing.
Yeah, so we weren't trying to do anything too attention grabbing anyway, so it didn't really have much of an effect on us.
Yeah. What else? I mean, do you remember what else it banned? Like besides the sign twirlers?
Well,
I can't remember.
from what I remember, and I'm still surprised. I may be wrong, but I thought you couldn't even have a marijuana leaf as part of your signage.
Yeah, exactly. That was one of them too.
I still see plenty of them.
So you can have titty and ass car washes at
Hey, now, watch where you're going with that.
Well,
Don't
that's
let those
keeping
ban.
it clean at the car wash.
You're
saying-
taking our idea away, man. We got that front little nice spot over at our store. We're gonna
For real.
It's begging for a car wash.
begging for a car wash.
Do it while you can before you get banned.
Yeah, I don't know. It was just a car wash.
Can the girls wear green bikinis or is that against the law?
No, green bikinis. I can't.
We'll make
I
sure
can't
it's cold,
imagine.
Dispensary green, that special color.
There might be some ladies that would like to see, Americo in, it's some, no, I'm just
In
kidding.
an Evo shirt.
Yeah, in an Evo shirt.
Yeah, we're pretty disappointed. We bought some new ladies shirts
Sorry,
with
Americo.
our brand on them,
No,
and
thanks.
us guys don't have this issue. We don't end up spreading the shirt, so we're messing up all the graphics. Yeah, see. Those
see.
ladies shirts, man. Just as soon as they put them on, like the A and the L and the B, like start spreading out, it doesn't look right. So it's gonna be something different.
That Bruce Banner hit me a little bit harsh. It hit me a
Harsh.
little bit more than not like harsh, but
Yeah,
like
don't use those kind of
I
words.
didn't get
Maybe,
that
Not
at
hard.
all.
bitter? Would you say bitter or nutty?
no, it was like it was a punch.
Did you get some nut in your mouth?
God, I hate you, dude.
Some old.
You're such a dick. No, I mean it had a punch to it.
Yeah, I mean most
It might have
of
been
them
that
end up
massive
that
bong
way.
that I was ripping.
Again, man, it's the strain you're using.
It made me sweat too. It made me sweat, definitely. I'm getting hotter.
Well, maybe it's all that mixing.
No, I think that's a sign of a good strain. You know,
The
when you like take
Rochambeau.
a big ass hit of something, and you're like
armpit ring in a minute.
no. That's wrong. You know what's another thing? Advantage that the shows at night have here, too, when they're not using the rest of the office.
No.
They just throw the door wide open. So it's like hot
So
as
it's
hell in
not
here during the
smoky.
summertime. It's gonna be.
Does it kind of seem like?
Oh, we're getting a air conditioning unit for in here. I haven't told you yet.
You didn't tell me.
No, you're gonna wear a skirt, and we're gonna get one for free.
Here goes the skirt again.
Well,
we're not going to continue
You're
this
gonna
conversation.
benefit for a cool studio.
I never hotboxed a studio before.
You've never hotboxed a studio? Strangely enough,
It's pretty awesome.
I've done it probably more times than I can count. It's crazy. Even outside of radio. It's fun. So, 82 South Federal Boulevard is where you can catch these guys here in Denver, Evo Lab and Element 420. And you guys have fantastic service over at Element 420, by the way. Who's over there working the front desk?
The girls are good. Brittany.
Brittany's our superstar.
Brittany is awesome.
She rocks that place.
She's also an audio engineer, right?
Yep. She's
I need to
very
get-
talented, very smart. She knows all the products very well, and
I wanna talk with
She's
her.
very familiar with extracts, and then she's very familiar with the CO2. So
New girl Amy seems to know her stuff too. She's pulling her weight.
You got a new girl over there?
yeah, that happens about every other week.
That's why I'm applying for my badge,
I
man.
love people think, man, I got into the weed industry so I wouldn't have to work. I'm like,
Here's another
man,
guy.
this is the
Here-
hardest
see,
work I've ever done in my life.
I just found another shop too that I could get part-time work at. Element 420.
A lot of people, a lot of people come here thinking it's like working in a convenience store or something. Just sit there and sell cigarettes all day. Or
Dude.
if you work in the warehouse, it's just sitting around or riding
Hey,
over.
clear that out.
I thought I did.
Dude, I heard another story.
back.
I heard another story this weekend of a dispensary, a popular dispensary here that had to get rid of someone because they just weren't working out. So I mean, it is a pretty.
Someone.
But then she just got hired at another place. Did you hear that?
That probably
It's
happened.
like in the third place.
That's why I'm filling this out.
It's like the NFL head coaching wheel.
We had this girl come in who told us that she was like the High Times Cannabis Girl of the Month. Not a model, but like the fan of the month or something.
the girl of the month, High Times hero.
Fan of the month?
I don't know what it is.
No, I think it's the High Times Miss High
Go
Times.
on.
of the
What
month.
was that? That's a tange?
Yes, it was.
Oh, I had to wake it back up,
Yes,
huh?
you did. Yep. Sure did.
And while we're sitting, like, we're interviewing her, and she says, "Yeah, the only downside is I get sick a lot.
The only downside to what?
The only downside to hiring her.
Oh. When she
I
was
could see medical,
well,
but was she a medical marijuana patient, or
No,
did she
not
just
in
get
the least.
sick?
Not in the least.
Okay.
Oh, she's not even have a red card holder?
She was, yeah.
Oh.
And I just couldn't believe you would even actually go to an interview and be like, "Yeah, the only downside is I'm always sick." It's like, dude, man, maybe you.
Yeah, we're not going to be
Maybe
needing
you're not
to
a
see
fit.
anyone. Thank you.
Yeah, no, we're always looking for good help. Just people that are responsible, that show up to work on time, that we can trust.
I have. I'll
good
talk to you. I talked to you
personality.
after about someone I could highly recommend to you looking
Okay.
for work. So
Just enthusiastic and good energy. We don't want any drama or anything like that. We're a small place.
She's the perfect textbook.
It's more family style right now until we get huge. But for now, we're just all a family. We're most of us are longtime friends. So we've been kind of through the mill together, and we're just looking for those type of personalities, people who work hard and contribute to the team effort, and who find a place where they can give us something we're missing. That's always a good thing. So keep that in mind out there if anybody's looking for a bud tender job. We've got a great manager, but we're thinking about more stores and things like this. So.
Wow.
And exactly when legalization comes around, as far as store-wise,
It's gonna be crazy.
I mean, it is going to be crazy. It's going to be awesome
Yeah.
for people like yourselves because, number one, your optioned first ability to be able to open a recreational spot if that's something that you would like to do. And then, in fact, vertical integration didn't completely win out in this process, and vertical integration only made
Temporary.
it for the first 9 months?
9 months.
The first 9 months. So, I mean, October, if you guys wanted to, you could start applying for a situation to be in this recreational cannabis field, because you'd be the first one's option to be able to do it.
Absolutely.
Have you?
And then preparing for probably independent licensing, because I'm sure that you would want to put your CO2 on the statewide market.
Well, we sell all of it as it is, so we've got supply issues.
I know that's not.
But that could get solved.
So it's challenging. It can be solved, but money solves those problems. And
exactly.
you gotta. It's a delicate balance, and not overreaching and not overpaying. And we're looking at some properties. Kind of with that knowledge, I think hindsight's always 20/20. I'm not really sure how I feel about it right now. The vertical integration was an interesting topic because I really wasn't ever an advocate for it. Back in the day when we were scrambling to get into the industry and acquire facility to grow, and we had a dream to grow, and none of us really wanted to be in a retail location and managing that. We just wanted to grow and extract, and at the time, it was vertical integration with enforcement, and that really, I know for me that was a very, very difficult time because we'd already raised the money we thought we needed, and then all of a sudden it's like, now you've got to acquire another piece, and you can't really back out because you already committed to the first portion. So I never was a proponent of vertical integration. But then after going through all that, I have to say I'm a little bitter because we went through hell to try to, and not just us, but hundreds of dispensaries, hundreds of growers, hundreds of people who had great ideas for edibles, and I watched them all fall by the wayside because they couldn't pull that entire vertical integration model out of their butts at the last minute. So,
and that's what I've heard from people from constantly is that that this was supposed to be easy, or everybody thought that going into this whole industry, you open a shop, everybody on the outside at least, you'd open a shop,
build it,
you get into it,
kind of thing,
and it would build it and they will come, like build it and money will just flow in, and
So
that's not what happened. I mean, dispensaries have really struggled, and you've had to really fight to keep your place and to keep open.
Absolutely. Well, and we had some disadvantages because a lot of the buffer zones and all of those things were established right around that same time. So we really were in the game late to acquire property, and when you're limited to the cities and the counties that are licensed people, we kind of got stuck.
You can't just open anywhere.
No, and then finding that 1,000-foot spot, that place that doesn't fall within a buffer zone, was the first challenge. But then you always had a landlord to contend with who, feared federal seizure or whatever.
Yeah.
So, it was an uphill battle, and we did the best we could. We're starting to gain some traction, and
like
then we see these laws, people pushing to relax that. And again, as I told you in my little email, like nobody was really for vertical integration in the beginning.
Yeah.
Not that I remember. And then now,
which you developed products and then you had to sell those products, which is, that's a whole nother hurdle that you had to. People don't think about that. You had to grow your own weed,
like that.
do your own extract. Had to come up with everything, and hundreds of dispensaries have had to do this. Granted, weed sells itself, but at the same time, you've had to compete and stay open, and your overhead is enormous.
No, and I agree. Like I said, I wasn't. I kind of find myself conflicted because we had to go through it. So there's a part of you that just says, "Hey, we had to go through it, and so did everybody else, and so should everybody who wants to get in the game." And I know that sounds a little greedy, but it's not. It's not really intended that way. It's just everybody.
Yeah, I understand it.
Put their time in, and
I am. I am a libertarian. I am a person that doesn't like to see a sort of a forced business model like vertical integration be pushed on to folks, and I hate that. But at the same time, what you're saying. Here's the thing: that's what you've done. You helped invest into our future of legalization. Medical marijuana patients have hugely invested into the future of legalization, not only with the fighting for medical marijuana, but a lot of their products are going to be switched over to recreational when it comes time in January. They created that law out of nowhere. There's some people that are slightly upset about that. I'm not upset with it. I think, think about how good it's going to assist the community when when legalization comes out with the supply that we have. That situation is great, but at the same time, I want to see Evo Lab have your CO2 all over the state, and then eventually, hopefully, all over the country.
All over the world.
I don't think anybody thought that we would be looking at legalization in Colorado, much less, having, the thought of being able to sell what you have across the nation at some point in time within our lives. That's crazy.
Are you saying what about not having vertical integration to you enables us all those things you want to see? I'm just curious as how that ties really. I mean, we can contract out from growers now, which means we can find material.
You'll be able to here after 9 months, the start of everything in January. So after October, I think is what it is. Then you'll be able to have independent licensing for extract, for grows, for edibles, and a retail license if you want to have it. But I don't think you don't have to have that retail license with these things. You can sell to other shops.
We have all the licenses.
That doesn't apply. It's separate. Medical marijuana and recreational marijuana are two separate things.
They're different licensing, but I'm just talking more or less about the vertical integration aspect.
What do you mean?
I'm saying, how does removing vertical integration from the equation help me now that I've already done all the vertical integration? That's all I'm saying. Because your commentary was wouldn't you like to see it go all over the state and all over the country? And I'm
that's assuming that you guys are moving into recreational, the recreational field. You still have your medical marijuana license, your shop, and all that, and then you're going to apply here coming in October if that's what you're going to do for your retail recreational licensing. So you'll apply for a store, and you'll apply for a grow, and you'll apply for everything else, and come here when everything doesn't have to be vertically integrated. I assume that there's going to be a lot of shops sold off.
I don't know why shops would be sold off, because if they are already vertically integrated, they're able to they're self-sustainable unless they're just poor business owners, or unless their product isn't.
They may not want to worry about having a storefront.
Yeah,
that could
absolutely.
be something that
Absolutely.
That's something that I could see.
So then you just mean that, like I said, we could get a store and only have a store, and then contract 3 or 4 different grow facilities to supply the store. And I see how that's great. I love it. I'm like I said, I'm never
what
been
about these
against
guys? What about like these guys? If they, this is, I'm not trying to pitch y'all against each other or whatever, but I know that there's going to be extract artists and people that are working for, companies that maybe break off and get their own licensing, something like that. So that's the situation that's kind of going to change after vertical integration goes away.
The fact won't change that, like any business, you've got to be savvy. You have to have a product.
Exactly.
You have to know how to do what you're doing. It's not going to be. So yeah, there will still be attrition. There will still be people who get the licenses and can't make it. At this point, having all of the licenses or one of the licenses is just like I'm saying, is kind of not really as relevant to us as maybe some people who want to get into the industry come October, January, whatever. Well, actually, what do we have, a 9-month moratorium for?
9 months.
Yeah. So, anyways, yeah, man. Like I said, the American way is not the vertical integration model.
Yeah.
And I'm not a proponent of it, but again, like I said, there's just a bit, a bad taste. Where were the lawyers back in 2010, advocating for, let's not vertically integrate, no damn way. Let's fight against vertical integration. And I think at the time maybe people were just like, look, let's just do what they say, because at least we can do marijuana business. Yeah. And so that's all I was kind of just commenting on. It's like, man, if somebody would have really been as advocated as much as they are now, back in 2010, maybe this wouldn't have been a transition at all.
They were scared, is what happened. I think the legislators were scared. They were getting a lot of reefer madness feedback from the soccer moms, and they didn't want to have so many licenses out there. They wanted everything to be controlled from seed to sale, which we all know now that there was never really a system put into place to monitor seed to sale. You guys put it in place yourselves a lot of the time, And a lot of shops really did follow the rules and did exactly as they were supposed to do, and that's why we are so successful right now. And that's another thing is that when that's your investment into recreational marijuana today, is that you showed everybody that this could happen. And I mean, that's why there's only a 9-month moratorium on it. Is because they're like, okay, well, we had vertical integration. Why don't we go ahead and do this for 9 months, the vertical integration thing, and then step slowly into another new realm, which is that, doing away with vertical integration, having all these companies, like a Budweiser pop up, and it's like, okay, well, now there's Evo Lab that can sell CO2 extract, to everybody in the state, and that's going to be amazing. That's going to be awesome to do. And if it's your bud, say you guys have a bud that you would like to market, I mean, that's how it's going to get really interesting. Right. I mean, can you imagine the trademarks that are going to be applied for here coming up? I mean, for companies,
recreational weed store.
It's already getting hot, so
Like I can imagine, like Broadway Wellness brought in like Blue Dream or something and made it. Yeah. I mean, I don't know if they were the ones that make it hugely
What happens
popular.
if the voters don't approve the tax? The framework that they've laid out for taxes, because it's vastly different than alcohol, and that wasn't really part of the deal. I thought it was to regulate and tax like alcohol.
Yeah. I mean, I agree. At least they brought down one of them, and it's only 15%. Or at least it's only 10% for one of 15 and 10%.
Yeah, so 25 total.
I mean, if votors don't pass it,
plus 7.6. Well, for Denver, anyways. Plus your.
It's gonna be about 35%.
Right, typically, yeah.
35% typically. But see, if voters don't pass that come November, I mean, it'll keep going back to the voters if they don't pass it this time around. Which I mean, I would find it hard to think that voters would not put this through, because one of the large things that we wanted with legalization was the revenue,
yeah.
And I mean, even though those taxes are high.
Hey, what about it going to A-Town, man, and in other municipalities and opening up those? I've just been reading about Aurora, for instance.
Like Aurora controlling everything.
Yeah, that was an interesting theory that they had to try to have their own grows.
It's not a bad theory too, but I mean then that you become possibly liable. I mean, the city's liable for everything. I mean, you're the ones running. But see, is it any different than what the state is doing?
Just makes you wonder why that model even popped in their head. Nobody said, let's brew our own beer in Aurora, or
because that's how it happens in a lot of areas outside of Colorado. Is state-run liquor stores or
that's true.
Right. I mean, and I mean, and this way it would gain a lot of revenue for Aurora. And on top of it, it might also improve the quality. I mean, Aurora could become known either for crap weed or crap extracts, if that's what the city allowed to go through. But more than likely, it would be something, that would become like, hey, their quality is higher.
Yeah, they'd have to take responsibility for it for sure.
You think a government-run, government-run facility would have better quality?
I think right off the bat, it possibly would.
If they took the approach of like the Israels of the world, maybe. But
because
this is an economic thing that they're talking about.
Yeah, they're looking at the money.
Not a quality for the patient
I don't think
prospect.
I don't think our industry at certain levels has been tainted like other industries have, and I don't think that you know what I'm saying? Like this industry would be looked at and quality and making sure that things are tested and I mean, all those things that we value, I think would be the pride of someone at this point, rather than just something, falling by the wayside, becoming political, just worrying about the money. I think something brand new like this is going to become hugely prideful for somebody to run with. And I mean, Aurora having that idea isn't a bad idea. So, but the libertarian in me says absolutely not. But it could work out. I don't mind.
It's a catch-22 because the more regulation, the more interference by that inspection entity and this quality control entity and that and the other and on and on and on. That ultimately raises prices to the consumer. The system right now definitely has its flaws. I think we'll start to see more testing for adulterants, solvents. I mean, for nutrients and things that are
for sure,
BGRs. I mean, those are all important things for us to get a handle on.
That's one of the big things that they put inside the framework of Amendment 64's bills. I think it was 1317. I'm getting the numbers mixed up. Eventually, these numbers would absolutely not matter. But I mean, testing is one of the biggest parts of that framework that they put in, which is interesting because I mean, whoever has these companies that are already established for testing, number one, is going to pull in a ton of cash, and two, I mean, I think we're going to see a huge increase in quality, and also, I mean, there's probably some things that we don't want to know about the type of nutrients and, I mean, bug sprays and pesticides that are put in some of these products. You got to assume that with state-regulated, mandated testing, that we're going to, at some point, I mean,
can I ask you a question, though?
Improve the quality of everything and then find things we don't want to.
I'm just wondering, you have, like, obviously the ultimate trust in in the municipalities and stuff, because
I'm not
think
saying
about
that.
this.
I'm just saying that we haven't necessarily paid that close attention.
How efficient do you think? How efficient do you think that process is going to be? Has anybody taken a look at the MMED lately?
Well, what do you mean? I mean, well, I understand that part.
I mean, I'm just saying they're backlogged. Compliance.
But you're
things
still
like
going to
that.
have
lawyers are all very, clear. They've got like 3 personnel at MMED.
But that's saying that people are not necessarily going to be compliant with, what they're supposed to do. But I think they will.
So you think just another oversight committee will be more efficient than that, and then another one for something else, and another one?
No,
I think
that if you're regulated to test your product, and it's got to be on the labels. You have to have a THC content on it. I mean, if you're regulated to do that with your products, I mean,
and then have private companies come out of the woodwork that have lab equipment and that have labs and that can test all of those things and foster a private enterprise type.
Well,
market.
that's what I think the that's what we have yet to see is the Marijuana Enforcement Division. Is what it's called now.
And those guys are great. I mean,
we haven't seen how they're
I like the MMED. Don't get me wrong, but
they have to mandate testing. Is somehow there has to be mandated testing, and we've yet to see how the MED is going to implement that. And I mean, there's going to be some way that whether they pick like 1 or 2 facilities that people are directed to go to, or it's you get to pick what facility it is and then report back to them on it. I'm not exactly sure which way it is, but either way, I mean, everybody's going to be doing it, and whether or not the MED follows up on it, that's yet to be seen.
No, I don't mean that. I'm saying, as an example, creating more oversight committees for whether it be testing for these things or those things or the other. I just like the idea of it being through private companies like we have now. We've got lab testing agencies in Denver.
Yeah, and I mean, that's not going to change. I don't think that'll change.
The government can say, here's the thresholds of all of these things that we deem everything safe with, and then we test with private companies.
And that's how it'll probably happen.
Yeah, that's what I'm.
I assume that that's how it'll probably happen.
That was just on the heels of our Aurora conversation, so that's why I was saying Aurora taking the reins of having their own grow facility and
I mean, it would be more government, but I think the first few years would be awesome. Anyway, we'll get back into that one. I'm not testing of the government at all. How dare you? Or trusting of the government at all. How dare you? Dude, he's all zonked out over here.
Is this what happens every day? With
about this time of day.
Every day, Mike's gone about an hour and a half into the show.
I mean, I don't know.
Politics are just not my...
Me neither,
thing.
but
I don't mind talking about it.
And clearly,
obviously.
But if you're on a radio show and saying stuff, you want to make sure the facts are straight.
Sure,
definitely.
People are listening.
That's why I slow way down to make sure I can hear everything.
It's gonna get interesting once vertical integration is dropped, and I can't wait till the first of the year, man. I mean, I think it's gonna be interesting to see how many people can actually move in to spots, because I think almost all the spots that you're gonna be allowed to have are going to get taken up.
Oh, for sure.
And it's going to be like it was with medical marijuana, and there's this cascade of people slowly being shuffled out, places being shut down, and then kind of where we're at now, where I think we've reached this sort of
nice,
like this
balance or equilibrium right now.
Everything sort of we've developed this nice platform from where we're standing at right now, and it seems like a lot of the shops, are sort of, in the cycle of things, and they've got their products up and their direction that they're going, and I don't see as much turnover as I used to. Still quite a bit of shops opening and closing and changing names, but
right.
I mean, for a minute there, I stopped paying attention to anybody, and then came back to the game.
Yeah.
Came back to checking out shops, and I didn't recognize a single name. I was like, everybody switched. But that's cool. I mean, it means that at least we've got a healthy market for it, and there aren't like 50, 100 places in Denver, that are just barren, and it's like, oh, that's where a medical marijuana shop opened, and now it's not open anymore, Right. Somebody moves right in, and they sell pretty quick.
It'll be fun to see next year. It's really month to month. It's going to be change.
It's going to be nuts, man. Come January 1st. The amount of coverage that we're going to have nationally, dude, internationally. People coming here.
You're right, the tourism. Everybody wants to move here now.
I'm stoked about the tourism. That's another thing.
Quarter limit for non-residents, is that what I'm hearing?
Yeah.
Yes, quarter limit for non-residents, which is frustrating.
What, quarter?
Is all you're going to have
quarter
is that
limit per visit.
Per visit. So,
I go out to my car, be right
just
back.
wear your
Go out to my
Nikes
car,
and
be right
make lots
back.
of visits.
Gotta go out to my car, be right back. Oh, I got an ounce.
Check it out too, though. I mean, isn't that? That's encouraging people to go and visit multiple locations. I mean, it's encouraging tourism.
Tell you something.
It's exactly what they didn't want to happen. But
I used to live in Pennsylvania. You could go into bars and buy beer to go, but you can only buy a 6-pack at a time. So if you wanted to buy a case, you had to buy 4 6-packs and make 4 trips to your car. I'm not kidding. That probably still goes on.
I wonder why they do that.
Just to give people
because they're
loopholes.
uptight and crazy. It doesn't work that
All
way.
right, man.
Old
Give me an
and
ounce. Give me an ounce price, and I'll be back 4 times.
Well, on that, I think the edible
the quarter price 4 times.
The edible serving size restrictions are a little ridiculous in my opinion.
Just gonna put it in 2 bags.
Right.
You
Just
can have
open more
500
packaging,
milligrams.
you
Has to be
know,
5 packages inside the package.
It does suck that they did put.
I recommend eating CO2 oil, by the way, straight. It's delicious.
So CO2 oil straight. No. Raw CO2 oil.
We have some customers.
I eat a little bit at a time. Yeah.
No, but wait. Here's my question though: is activated, non-activated? What's the situation?
Mostly non-activated.
Non-activated, right?
But we know that non-activated THC also has other benefits without the. Without some of the what do they call that? We're psychoactive effects.
Yeah.
So we have people that come into our store and buy a pretty, good quantity of the oil, and they say they eat it. I mean, I'm not promoting that. I don't know yet. I don't know enough about it, but it's kind of neat to see people trying things and for it to work for them and give them the relief they need, whatever it is.
Yeah. I'm still too new to the idea that you can get into this regimen of taking, whether it is, whatever cannabis product it is, any edible or even raw oil extract, in a pill form. I'm still getting to the fact that, you don't have to necessarily feel high off that to get the benefit that you're looking for. That's the crazy part of it. I mean, and the more and more that we look at it, and in fact, there's a story that came out today that, or last week, that marijuana doesn't necessarily increase your chances for lung cancer. There's another one in here. Let's see, what is it? Lowers risk of bladder cancer is a report that came out today. And I mean, it's like over and over and over. Finding out more and more how much that it helps with cancer, and the parts that help with cancer isn't any THC that's getting you high or anything. It's got
topically too, like for melanomas and things like that we're seeing that people are. It's all a wide range of applications. It's pretty good.
Yeah. Do you guys have any topicals that you sell at your store at all?
We do. We don't.
Some bombs.
We don't.
Yeah.
I mean, our CO2 isn't in the product, but we definitely sell bombs and topicals, and there's definitely a group of customers who love that stuff.
So so customers come in and talk to you about it, do they tell you, it's incredibly effective?
Absolutely. My people I know, some people I know who are not necessarily marijuana friendly, but do suffer from things, aren't willing to consume it, but find maybe that it's even worth just a try to use a topical on, say, some aching muscles or whatever. And something we get from Suckers or Us, a balm, I've heard dozens of times from customers, and we sell the hell out of it. So we get a lot of repeat customers, and they really do see a therapeutic use and benefit from it.
Would you test positive for cannabis? I wonder if you use
at the 5 nanogram level, probably.
Yeah, exactly. There's barely anything, no limit there.
Yeah,
that's interesting. I never thought about that. I mean, that's putting you on the spot there, but I never thought about if a topical would,
I think one of the final things that's kind of freaky from the medical standpoint are people that do use, that do have insurance and medical insurance and so forth, and go to doctors and get their blood tested and have to do that in the course of their treatment, who also use marijuana. They starts to get into their medical reports and so forth that they have marijuana and stuff like that, and I think that makes some people reticent to come in, try those kind of products, because they don't want to have a positive test, man.
Something else that I thought about this weekend and was talking to Warren and a few other people about was the DUID bill that passed. Obviously, THC, going to be 5 nanogram limit for people, and it's going to get a lot of people in trouble that aren't necessarily. I mean, it could get a lot of people that aren't necessarily high in trouble. Here's the thing. If you would really like to avoid a situation to where you could be prosecuted in court, you're still probably going to get arrested and thrown in jail. But go into a lab, get yourself tested. Like, here's what's going to happen, and this could possibly happen. And I mean, it's a real possibility if this thing holds. You go into some lab somewhere, they see you at a resting level of not high, whatever, take your nanogram limits, scientifically gauge you, calibrate you almost like a breathalyzer is, because everybody's different, everybody reacts to cannabis different. If you're like 20 nanograms, that may be different to me being 20 nanograms. I mean, all this stuff.
Yeah, but that doesn't hold any weight, because alcohol, severe alcoholics could have like a 0.3,
No, I agree.
0.3 level and be operational, and then a person who doesn't drink at all would be dead. So there's tolerance levels that are built up. I think the key is probably just don't smoke in your car. Don't leave any type of any marijuana or a pipe or anything in your car, and then really the suspicion wouldn't even be really on you.
I agree, but you still may end up in a situation to where, unfortunately, that you
drove with it.
You're going to be stumbled up on, and I mean it's ridiculous.
Well, I mean the low level is ridiculous, because I don't know what your levels are right now or what your daily levels are.
Exactly, and
that's why self calibration may be required, because I'm pretty sure I can operate pretty fine way over their new established limit. So
yeah, but so can.
I only think
some boozer who.
I know, and they need to prove that, I guess, with reaction times and stuff in court. Because what's the science behind the level that they set now?
Exactly, and there's a few places that are going to be doing stories coming up. Still,
there
Channel
has
4
to
is
be.
going to be doing one of those driving stories to where they're going to watch you get high and then watch you do some driving simulator thing.
All right.
But see, that's what I'm talking about.
And
dude, that's what I'm talking about.
But make sure they do a couple of tests up in the simulator sober, so we can see how bad of a driver they are to begin with.
John, the simulator they did before, they had people drive an 18-wheeler simulator.
Right. Yeah.
So it's like, wow, that's really.
No, I mean, they're gonna. I mean, here's the deal, and going back to the getting yourself calibrated. I mean, it seems like a crazy idea, but the more you think of it, and the more you, I mean, it could save your ass a lot of money. I mean, because what Warren was telling me is
here's my calibration report, officer.
Exactly, dude.
Yeah,
that's like $10,000 that you could possibly
save,
have to go through, and then having a DUI on your record.
That's ridiculous.
You could go into a lab, have them sit there, watch you get high, take calibrations, perform operations, whatever you need to do, and then leave, and then be semi-different, safer, be certified for this is the level.
Yeah, certified operator.
I really don't think you're going to see a real high instance of people being arrested.
I don't think
marijuana.
so, because I don't think it's going to fly.
But
Well,
you
no,
still have
'cause
to
how
have
they-
probable
yeah, I
cause,
don't know.
and you still, I mean, can they just look at you and be like, I believe you're stoned, so let's go take a breathalyzer? I mean, they're not going to do
Yeah,
that.
I mean, they can. They could do that if they wanted to.
Well, what would be the probable cause? Wouldn't they have to
Jesus,
see
man.
some marijuana in the car or smell it or something? I mean, wouldn't there still have to be?
Well, we're finding sometimes that stuff's arbitrary anyway. Like.
I mean, if you got red eyes, you look like you're baked. Officer may or may
Allergies.
not smell weed. What if there's like, I mean, I smell weed all the time
Right.
in Colorado. There's a whiff from somewhere other than the vehicle, and he's like, "Oh, this car is high."
Right.
The car is smoking.
Well, there'll be a lot of doors that open and close in
Well,
the evolution of this industry. So
Here's what I think is going to happen: is I think that the court, hopefully, like other courts, is going to rule that there's no basis for being able to explain how you're impaired. I mean, they may be able to say, "Look, you are impaired," but we don't know if it's enough to not be able to operate.
I just don't know
machinery.
that matters because, like in an alcohol stop, an officer will say that they note alcohol on your breath or bloodshot eyes, or
But
they give you a field sobriety test first, or they give you a breathalyzer or something. That's what they get you on. That's how they prove that you have done what you've done.
But
Whereas
you're
with
guilty.
marijuana, if you don't have any. If they search your car and they look at everything and you just have red eyes, but it doesn't smell like blood, there's
But
no
if you
pipes,
test
there's
over
nothing.
but if you test over 5 nanograms,
They wouldn't have. I don't know how they would have that probable cause to test you in the first place if they didn't find something.
I roll with my medicine on me all the time, so they'd find me. Even if I.
Dude, I've been
wasn't.
pulled over twice, not driving. Just explained this story multiple times. Been pulled over twice in the past year and a half, not driving, and both times, I mean, the cop was digging for cannabis DUIs. Now, granted, he might have smelled weed, and I mean, there was no smoking going on in the vehicle, but there's constantly weed around me.
Right.
I smell like weed a lot.
Every day we leave.
So I mean, that's something
Yeah,
that's
as growers, it's a problem.
I mean,
you know,
I'm
as
not
far as-
kosher with.
You're an employee transferring something via manifest, and you have a bunch in there, and they could just be like, "Yeah, you have a manifest, but I also think you're baked."
Exactly.
Unfortunately, it seems like a lot of innocent or suspect cases. A lot of
It's gonna have to be
bullshit's gonna
fought out
go
in court.
down before the shit gets changed.
It's
That's
going to
the
have to be
bad
fought out in
thing.
court, and that's the frustrating thing. And you have to prove yourself innocent. I mean, you test positive for that 5 nanograms.
Right.
You have to prove yourself innocent, that you were not unable to drive
I
a
just
vehicle.
read about a guy in California who beat a charge, I believe, who beat a marijuana DUI.
I'm pretty sure that was in California too, and it's happened in Ohio. I'm pretty sure it was Ohio. But yeah, it's happening because they're not being able to prove that you are, it's whatever. They can prove that you're impaired, but they can't prove that you're
Or under the influence, but
not
not
able to
impaired,
be able
yeah.
to drive. What level of impairment you're actually at is becoming the hang-up, which is crazy. We're sitting here chilling with Alex, Americo, and John from Evo Lab and Element 420. These guys make some fantastic CO2 extract, and earlier in the show here we had cake. Not that kind of cake, but I swear to goodness is like the
Same
most...
thing.
Dude, smelled so sweet. Smells exactly like chocolate frosting, and it's probably one of the most amazing extracts that I've possibly had underneath my nose ever. So congratulations on that, guys. We
Thank
took
you.
some of that. It's an amazing high, and I mean it tastes like it smells. So my nose glands actually they grew taste buds there for a second.
Nose glands.
They're applauding.
Well, good. Well,
That was one of the JDR beta things.
We appreciate
it was amazing,
the feedback,
honestly.
and we're always pushing and striving for not only better but new things, and so you'll see more of us. You'll see. Just say next time, expect that you're going to try 2 or 3 things that blow your mind again. That's kind of the.
And then what I'm enjoying is that you guys is actually following the name of your company, Evo Lab, because you are evolving big time. So it's awesome to see that. I'm very proud of people around me that are moving forward steadily with their products, and building that product image and trying to refine products. You're setting the standard for people all over. I mean, I don't know anybody else who is even really trying right now to do CO2 extract, much less on a level of like, holy crap, you just blew me away with that cake. I mean, that was insane. I mean,
well, the guys who make these
VHO
extractors are
that's not
selling
even-
a ton of them.
the CO2 extractors?
Absolutely.
So it's starting to pick up more and more?
Yeah, beyond what you could even imagine.
It's
People are recognizing it. They're selling these machines like crazy. They're building them like crazy. We've seen new ones come onto market.
You have that
standard of excellence you guys are helping bring forward.
We are
you have that
helping.
blueberry pie coming up, a blueberry muffin.
Blueberry muffin, yeah, that'll be a little bit though. They're
Yeah.
they're in veg right now,
Oh,
so
right
we
on.
still have some time.
Which blueberry is that?
It's a
that the
DJ
DJ?
Shore Blueberry Times Platinum Girl Scout cookies.
What? Really?
Blueberry muffin, bitch.
Dude, I still have yet-
So that one will be interesting.
Trying to have it by July 4th. Trying to get it.
Yeah, that's gonna be tough.
I've yet to try the Girl Scout cookies.
We got something called Blue Moonshine coming up. We've just been getting our friend Canapoo is just a strain hunter. He just loves that's kind of his passion.
What's the Blue Moonshine?
Canapoo, save me, buddy.
It's an old DJ Short strain.
DJ Short strain. Oh, okay, yeah,
It's an
yeah,
old- it's
okay,
that old
yeah.
Blue Moonshine, you know,
Yes. I know what you're talking about now.
So yeah, we just kind of count on him to help us find really good stuff. We don't have the time to pheno things like we used to, and to go through bags and bags of seeds and pick out the best. So.
What's your proudest one that you've got right now? The most awesome strain that you've got in shop or in your grow?
I mean, the Tange and the Banner, just again because they're new, so we're kind of sick of the old stuff. So those favorites kind of fade.
Yeah,
but
I bet that Tangent Banner
Master
is-
Kush.
The Tangent Banner looks good. The Master Kush is awesome.
What do you like about the Master Kush?
Smells and tastes
the
great.
terpenes.
It's a great terpene
Strong.
profile.
Yeah, that's a THC strain.
Yep.
Big ups to
Very
Adam.
good one. Absolutely.
Yeah, I hear a
we
lot
have,
about
We
that
have
one.
his bubblegum, actually, too. We had
You
it
have the
for a long
bubblegum?
time. Yeah, from them guys.
Lots of people like that, but I've never.
Awesome
never-
flower, man. I mean, awesome plant. It's just kind of old news now for us.
I didn't ever. I mean, I know a lot of people enjoyed it, but I didn't ever really enjoy it too much. It just was never strong enough for me. But I hear from other people that it was crazy strong. You know, that I'm nuts for even thinking that at all.
Body chemistry has probably some role in all that, and
That's not the original bubblegum.
no.
I don't think, no, it's
It sucks, man, because I mean that story is
We're
ridiculous.
growing the Dark Stars from TH Seeds.
You are?
Yeah.
I'd like to see that, man. I bet you Adam would love to see that too, because I don't know how often he gets to see that strain. That's one of his favorites.
Yeah, we've had it for a long time.
And Sage is his all-time favorite. Have you guys been able to grow that out? The Sage?
Not here, but I have in the past.
Sage Master. That's
so
cool.
I'd say that's our favorites right now: the Banner and the Tange.
Sweet, man.
But our number one seller of all times is our Northern Lights. We just have a really good cut of it.
Yeah, that's what you
one
said
sells.
last
Our
time.
Jack Harrer is just terp rich and crazy, and it's very uppity. So the Jack is definitely one of our best sellers. You know, we
Excited
trying
about
to just get more
Mob Boss,
more boutique
honestly.
kind of stuff too.
Which one? What?
Mob Boss. I'm
Yeah, that's-
excited. I was tripping out on it today a little bit.
It's just
About
covered in
5
tracks,
weeks in, you know, and it's looking fantastic. And
What's the
smells really
Mob
nice.
Boss? Like,
Heard of it?
I've never heard of that one before.
No, it's not one of mine. So
Canapoos.
yeah.
There's so many strains coming out. I mean, there's so many people that know what they're doing as far as crossing and breeding strains.
That's not our forte, man. That's
Hey, man.
but I love it. I love watching people be passionate about it.
The
and
quality's
design
just getting
stuff.
better, you know. Everybody demands quality, especially in Colorado. You know what I mean? So there's not enough indoor grows to supply what, but it's gonna be fun.
Yeah. So the beginning of the year, you mentioned supply. How do you think that's going to go over here? You think are you guys going to run out?
The prices
no matter
are gonna
what,
go
if you're
up,
recreational
you know,
or if you're medical. I mean, I think almost everybody in every shop is going
That's
to
an
have a hard
anxiety
time.
for everybody. Yeah, I think everybody's more, you know.
It
they
could
don't,
break
you know.
shops. I mean, it could break shops.
I think it's
in the long run.
more likely to do that just from the supply and demand standpoint.
Exactly.
Right.
Because the shops that couldn't stay open all the time before, I mean, those guys didn't stay open.
That's the way to lose customers right there, is have somebody show up and you're closed, and
We
they
don't
probably
have any
won't show
bud
up again.
on our shelves. And that happened.
Oh yeah, it happened all the time.
Yeah.
I mean, you go to places now and extracts you can't find on the shelf sometimes.
Yeah,
Places that are extremely popular.
That's a challenge that we deal with every day, trying to keep that machine going and packaging and rolling. And we don't even distribute this to any other dispensaries, and we can't keep up with our demand.
Wow.
Yep, I picture a wave of people first of the year coming in and buying up all the shelves.
First day.
Dude,
prices are going to have to go up.
Buying like an ounce. Well, limit you. I mean, you're going to have to limit people.
Well, we already do that. We limit people to 10 grams.
10 grams. You guys
oil?
have a pretty good deal too, though.
Oil or bud?
On the oil.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you guys have a good deal on your oil, though. What is the everyday deal?
3 for $109.
3 for $109. Yep.
3 for $109.
We do a 3 for $109 deal, and people, if you look in Culture magazine, I think in the Hemp Connoisseur, and of course in the Chronicles and Westwards, we do have a $30 gram of any of our CO2 for first-time visitors. So.
Or mention
most of the prices end up being between 40 and 50, whether you're a member or not. 50 for non-members, $40 for members.
Or mention you heard it on the John Doe Radio Show. I bet.
Yeah, well,
I bet they'd more than
mention you
one.
heard it on John Doe, and $30 gram, your first gram,
and a high five,
and
$30 gram and a high five. Is that through the glass, or is it when you get back behind the glass and?
It's like dap through the glass.
Like a fist. Fist bump through at the glass.
Yeah, we appreciate all the people that
Window
support
lunch.
us, who come in and give
Window
our oil
lunch.
a shot, and we're going to keep the flavors coming, and keep the quality rolling, and see where it takes us. These guys are doing a great job back there, so
Yeah, no, it's
the lab is in good hands with these guys.
It's fantastic to actually have people here on the John Doe Radio Show. I mean, we've been lucky with every single one of our sponsors that we've had and people involved with us. The companies have been great. The service, the product. I don't think there's been ever an instance where it's been like, yeah, damn, I got to promote these guys. And it's proud to have it's proud to have you guys on, because the CO2 extract. I mean, making waves with that. We need to give you guys your own award, because it deserves its own award. That cake, I can't stop thinking about it, dude. Give it like the Terpene Achievement Award.
To close it out, since it's almost 2, man, take another rip, and you and Mike get some flavor back in there.
Thank you for having us, by the way.
Yeah, no problem at all. Sorry we had some issues with the sound here earlier, and I sort of like had to drive one-handedly and then roll with it. You guys helped out a ton. CO2 extract from Element 420 and Evo Labs. And it's not just CO2 extract. We emphasize a lot with Evo Lab and Element 420 their extract, but it's not. They have bud. You guys have edibles. I mean, you guys are a full-purpose shop over there, 82 South Federal Boulevard.
Absolutely.
So, and as you know, I push it. Great service.
Pretty good prices too. We
Great
do
prices.
No ounce over 190. Taxes is always included. So that's your out the door price, so no surprises. We have them down to 170 every once in a while when we have a lot of something.
170 for an ounce?
4 ounces for, yeah, man. It's trying to make it affordable, but it's definitely all high quality. I know you guys have seen it.
Yeah,
sick weed.
That's what That's what I was trying to make sure that we mention, is because sometimes we forget about the cannabis when we're talking about you guys, or when we have you on, because we're so interested about the CO2. It's such a great product itself that. Don't forget about the greens. Flowers. They're not just for your ladies.
The pre-run.
Dude, I was trying to avoid that. If you were a grower and somebody came walking into your grow and was like, oh, this is some fantastic pre-run, would you punch him in the face?
It's a new cool word for flowers.
Pre-run.
Bike's gonna get himself jumped in a dark alley.
I guess that
some dispensary.
If you read between the lines, that goes to show you what people are putting, what people are running right now. Like, oh, we'll put our shit in there. Check it out,
dude. More and more, I'm seeing buds get ran though.
The pre-run.
What's that? What's it
Them
called?
before they get run.
Is it Absolute winterized? Absolute's winterized. Okay. There are new standards being set across the board, not just with CO2, but the BHO.
They've been there. People are just catching up to them.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they
didn't
didn't have like
it's
names.
been around. Sure, it did.
Dude, nobody was winterizing their products.
But it existed.
Like a year ago.
Winterization existed before a year ago.
A year, 2 years ago, especially 2 years ago, or when oil first came around, there was nobody that was dewaxing their product.
Hey man, there's gonna be so many new buzzwords as this technology
Exactly.
and stuff evolves, and
now it's like the only BHO that I would even toke.
That's not true.
I know it's not true, but if I had a choice and could go,
You do.
I don't though, because I'm
You
broke.
don't have the
if we winterized that cake, it wouldn't taste like cake.
No.
So,
But see, this
the-
is different
the
though. It's
filter would.
not the same with CO2. You don't have to do that with it. It's not the same thing because it doesn't pull the waxes with it. What are you yelling at me because of the?
What doesn't pull with it?
It doesn't pull. I don't think that the CO2 pulls.
There's wax. I mean, it also.
But I don't. It's
but we
not
don't have
that-
any residue that we have to worry about getting out. And
Yeah,
stuff,
it's
you know?
not
And so
something that
that's-
sits there and coats your lungs and punches you in the
No.
chest a lot. You know, unless you take a
It's
massive
clean.
rib from a massive
Super clean.
bong. No, it's clean.
It's you know, and it's
You know, with all this dabbing and everything, I forgot what it was like to combust something. And I'll tell you, we roll these cones with CO2 infused in the bud.
Oh yeah.
And you know, there's something to be said still for some of the effects that you get. More on the lines of psychoactivity.
Right, I don't
Dude, I
even
love bud.
like hit
Good bud.
flowers anymore without laying a little drop of oil on there, you know, and getting nice and
Little-
artistic with it, you know, and putting that drop on there, and as soon as it melts in with a
So
with
for
the
those-
flower, like then you're imparting.
What
you
are
know.
those? What are those doobies called that you guys sell?
The thunder sticks,
The thunder sticks.
reefers.
Yeah. It's a kind of an
they're
inside
pretty
joke
sick.
to a buddy back when I was a kid, but yeah, they're thunder sticks. So if you want to just give the CO2 a try without blowing $30, we sell those cones for $10, and they're infused with CO2, and they definitely pack a punch.
Yeah, dude, awesome. 82 South Federal Boulevard is where you can check these guys out. ElementFour20.com. ElementFour20.com.
Check out. We got a couple facility videos. We got a video from the High Times Cup. We've got a
Your
tour of
menu's
our
on there
facility.
too, right?
Yep.
Yeah, you have your menu on there, and does that get updated?
Yeah, it updates with our menu through our point of sale. So.
Every gram.
Oh, sweet. So whatever you have in shop is on the website.
It is in the.
That's fantastic to know. Why doesn't
Definitely.
everybody do that?
Weed Maps too. You can check us out on Weed Maps. Our menu's always on there.
Weed Maps is crazy. I'm amazed at how popular Weed Maps got. Did you know they make $3 million a year? Or wait, no, $3 million a month in ad revenue. $3 million a month in ad revenue.
I'm in the wrong business, man.
Dude, Gil Nugborn, dude, he's crazy. I mean, I saw those reports and I was like, oh, what? So it's cool. So Weed Maps is where you can check them out. Dude, every company needs to have instant updated materials like that. So, and if you're outside of Colorado, I mean, check out the website and the videos and see what it's like to actually be here in Colorado.
Swag and look at where we smoking.
You're so mean.
Yes.
You know what? That's the one thing that we get outside of people here in Colorado that enjoy the products and look to us and other people for what products they go to and trust. And people outside of Colorado, number one thing that they watch the show for and view us and check out you guys for is just voyeur. I mean, straight up just trying to get that taste of life here in Colorado,
Yeah.
Everybody wants to move here and everybody wants to be a part, but not everybody can. And you guys being here, doing what you do, I mean, you have. I mean, sometimes it's hard to remember how much you do inspire people, man. You guys inspire me like
such a lot of work that you don't even step out of the realm to look at it like that. But
Yeah.
you're right.
Yeah, we really
As far
don't
as
see
Colorado.
the outside world much. Between the store and the lab and the grow facility, the outside world
But
sometimes
you're right.
kind of.
There are people right now listening
nice to
that are
look-
like,
take a look around.
They would
that
love to
want
be
to buy
in
a
our
CO2
shoes.
machine. They want to do exactly what you guys are doing. They want to come here and do that thing, and it's cool.
Start selling cans of CO2 so people can run CO2 at home.
Yeah. Run
Open
CO2.
blasting CO2.
Open blast.
Well,
Dude,
I saw a home portable version. I won't name from who, but a little internet research will show you 18 Gs.
Oh, that's
just 18 grand?
18 grand, man. You run a 50-pound tank through it.
Run an ounce.
And Bama.
I do want to get into extract though. Like I want to be an extract artist.
I'm about to extract myself in this room because it's too hot to extract.
Well, we're good that we're
so
pretty much done right now.
Saying goodbye to everyone. I'm
All
gonna
right,
pass
thank you
out.
guys for hanging out with us.
Thanks a lot for having us again. We always enjoy it.
We always love talking about CO2.
What up? Thank you, Ian.
If we ever have any questions or anything, I'll toss them your guys' way. It's funny how fast he just gets up and blasts out, isn't it? Thank you, Alex. Thank you, John. Thank you, Americo. Guys, check them out. Element420.com, elementfour20.com, 82 South Federal Boulevard in Denver. Check out the fantastic extract they have. Until we meet again tomorrow, it's Glass Tuesday, and we'll probably talk a bunch about glass. I got news that I didn't get to today, including that cancer news and other Colorado news. Lawsuits starting already. All right, it's JDR. I'm John Doe. See ya.
Produced by Charlie Stash Entertainment. The John Doe Radio Show programming is not limited to information on counterculture subjects and is intended as informational and entertainment purposes only. We specifically include responsible marijuana reform. Listening to anyone but your mother is stupid. We accept no responsibility for your actions or misrepresentations, and we do not fully endorse the use of illegal drugs. You are ultimately responsible for yourself.